Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing a big watch with a big name. This is the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean Master Chronometer GMT Deep Black. You can see this 2016 full ceramic case debut, a diving GMT, on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this GMT Deep Black. Now, that's the card in the upper right-hand corner. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this 2016 launch is imposing, it's strident, it's striking, it's everything the 45 millimeter, or I should say 45.5 millimeter Planet Ocean was, but it's also stark in a way that only a full ceramic case can be. You can see the case is immense. It's the same 45.5 millimeter size we've come to know in the top end of the Planet Ocean catalog, but it's not as hefty on the wrist thanks to the ceramic composition. What it is, however, is thick. This is unchanged from the steel version of the watch, and at 17.5 millimeters thick, it cuts a striking profile on the wrist. Now, from lug to lug, it's a little bit more reasonable than you might expect, being 52 millimeters horizontally across the wrist from extremity to extremity, and the strap does work well, not flaring out. It actually pulls straight down from the lugs, so this watch wears true to size, and I would say perhaps even a little bit more compact, thanks to the lightness of the ceramic. So I would say down to a wrist size of perhaps even 14.5 centimeters in circumference, you should be able to wear this surprisingly well-tailored watch. It does seem to be built for human-sized wrists. Now, it has a very substantial and beautifully executed natural rubber vulcanized strap. You can see there's a little bit of texture underneath to aggress against the skin and allow moisture, sweat, grit, and oils to escape. It also features a substantial combination titanium and ceramic twin trigger folding clasp, and you'll note that there is a tuck feature such that any excess strap length is hidden underneath the clasp body rather than requiring minder loops, so it has a very clean aesthetic when buckled. And this is a clean timepiece using only slight variations in finishing texture to differentiate the different, and one might even say borderline monolithic elements of this all-black case, bezel, and dial combination. But you can see the classic Seamaster professional beveled case is present and accounted for with polished bevels and satin finished case band. You'll also note the Helium escape valve, which is a signature of these watches, and while perhaps useless for those who are not engaging in saturation diving, luxury is always about having more than you need, plus it's a wonderful conversation piece. Now, the bezel is, despite the GMT intent of the watch, still a unidirectional rotating dive bezel, so you get that 24-hour hand for the second time zone, but it doesn't come at the cost of the ISO 6425 specifications that make this a true diver. You can line up the index with the minutes hand, broad arrow vintage style, and then time an interval of 0 to 60 minutes, even as you continue to follow your second time zone in real time, atop a dial that is beautifully polished, high-gloss ceramic in its own right. That's right, the dial is ceramic, as is the bezel and the case. Now, what's the advantage of ceramic? Well, one, it's lighter. Two, it's just as scratch resistant for practical purposes as a sapphire crystal. So if you're not one to scratch or chip a sapphire crystal, you're going to find that this watch is almost ageless on the wrist. Now, you'll note that all of the indices, as well as the Omega marquee and Arabic numerals, are applied for a high-quality contrast with the backdrop of the dial and easy readability. It does glow like a torch at night, and of course, the caliber, which is now a Matos chronometer, no longer merely COSC, but tested as a fully cased-up watch, the time zone function of the hour hand endures, and you'll also note that the system does not stop the balances. The seconds hand, the minutes hand, the second time zone, they continue to advance, so setting the time does not affect the chronometric precision of the watch. Now, when you pull the crown to extremity, of course, I'll demonstrate this. You can synchronize the watch to a known accurate reference time. This is handy whenever you're speaking of a chronometer, the ability to stop the seconds and synchronize. Now on the case back, you can see the new Maytas chronometer, co-axial, reference 8906, twin mainspring barrels, 60-hour power reserve, dual time, amagnetic silicon hairspring. You'll note a full dual-anchored balance bridge and a free-sprung balance for utmost resistance to shock-induced timing deviation, and again, thanks to the SI14 hairspring, also resistant to magnetism. It's a handsome movement to look at, and it is rare to have a display case back on a 600-meter water-resistant watch. Of course, it is a coaxial caliber in the grand tradition of the mechanism, designed for Omega by the late George Daniels, so it even has a little bit of a high horology pedigree. And you'll also note the interesting alignment of the printing on the case back. The screw-in case back, this is known as the Naiad system from Omega, allows all of the text to align top to bottom perfectly as the caseback is screwed in, so it's never askew or off-center. Aesthetics taken to the level of perhaps Spinal Tap. This one goes to 11. Everything is considered. You can see and you can purchase this handsome, versatile, and highly resilient full ceramic Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean GMT on our website.